number 10?
Here at number 10, we have over in Cleveland. I didn't know he had that good of a year last year, just because Cleveland was a bit of an afterthought. They seem to somehow get all these big men, Drummond and Thompson, Love last year, Nance Jr., but their guards are pretty good. So here at number 10, Colin Sexton. He actually had over 20 points per game last year.
Yeah, not only had 20 points per game last year, but post All-Star break, he had 25 points per game.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, I believe he was fourth or fifth among shooting guards in points per game after the All-Star break, behind only guys like Bradley Beal, James Harden, etc. So puts him in pretty good company where if he could put up 25 per game, which is obviously what they're hoping. They drafted him very high in college. He was just a pure scorer as he was. Then, yeah, Colin Sexton's probably going to keep moving up. But yeah, other than his scoring ability, his other areas of the game really need a lot of work as well, with that being said.
And that's why I'm surprised we have him that high. I'm very surprised that he made our top 10. I think that the players just under him are very close to the same level scorer. I think the likely reason he made the top 10, though, is the potential and the fact that on that Cleveland team, it's really him.
Yeah.
As much as there is in Love, they don't build the offense around the big men. Big men are there, the dominated big men. They can probably win games on their own, and they'd rather have Sexton and Garland just run around and shoot the ball. And that worked for Sexton, though. He had a great year last year, and he'll likely put the same year up again. So I think he'll actually keep improving. I don't know if he stays in the top 10 because it's hard to be in the top 10, and he's a very fringe player. I think everyone ahead of him has a bit more of the defensive aptitudes that he's missing at this moment in his career. Luckily, they picked up Drummond, though, so that'll help make up for those mistakes and should help Cleveland win a few more games. But I think that Sexton, if he does pick up that defense, he can definitely go a little higher.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think it's a guy who he is so high, like you said, because of the potential. But not only that, the fact that I think he's already showing that he's pretty much ready to reach it. A lot of guys come in, they obviously take a few years to fully get there. He already had a pretty much 5-point improvement year over the year. And like I said, from the first half of the year to the second half, he had another 5-point improvement. If this is a guy who, even with his defensive liabilities, puts up, let's say, 25 points per game over the whole year next year, we're definitely going to be talking about him as a consistent top 10 shooting guard. Obviously, they did bring in Garland. They like him a lot more at the point guard role, it seems, which is fine for Sexton. He's not that great of a ball handler to begin with.
Neither one of them are really all-star playmakers.
Yeah, no, definitely not. And again, going back to the defense, though, it's really it is a huge issue for him. I mean, if you look at the offensive real plus minus, he was actually in the positive. I believe he was +2, but his defensive real plus minus was so bad that it actually made his overall plus minus just one of the worst among shooting guards that we have. That's something
that's why I'm surprised we had him this high.
Yeah, definitely. But it's things too. Like he was top 10 in usage rate among shooting guards. He was top 10, 20 in value added among shooting guards. Top 20, I believe, in true shooting percentage. So yeah, it's really just the fact that you know what Colin Sexton can do offensively. You know he could score with the best of them clearly. You know he's going to keep developing. You just have to hope that other areas of his game come with it. Otherwise, we're going to see a guy, obviously won't have, I think, the full potential of a guy like James Harden. But in terms of getting a lot of critique for, yes, he does score a lot, but people seem to focus more on the things that are wrong with him. That could definitely happen to Colin Sexton as well.
To me, I feel like Sexton, I don't know if he can ever top out at the Harden level. I know that's not what you were saying there. But I do see him kind of getting to that Zach LaVine level.
Oh, absolutely. He had half
that was far away.
At that level. So I mean,
half the year, like you said, and that's the half that they had Andre Drummond. So maybe in a full year with Drummond and Love clicking, that pick and roll is really nice. Maybe he actually gets his assists up a little bit. Things can be looking a little better.
Absolutely. But with that being said, too, other than the guy you mentioned, who is also very offensively minded, it's going to be hard for him to move above certain guys on this list.
It's going to be hard for him to get any higher.
Yeah, like I don't know if you have anything else to say about Sexton, but I think that's kind of a good way to go into I think the next guy. I could be wrong, but I feel like the next guy is just
is on another level. Yeah, you don't even know who's on the list.
I just
Uh,
feel like it is. I just feel like on both ends, if it's the guy I'm thinking, it's just such a better player than Colin Sexton is.
okay. It's not the player you're thinking.